Hello and welcome back to the Urban Life. Here we will do important questions for upcoming DSSSB Special Educator exam. Let's start with question number 1. What is the primary purpose of an individualized education program IEP? IEP का primary purpose क्या है? To evaluate teachers, to assess school infrastructure, to plan customized educational goals for a child with special needs, or to provide punishment guidelines for behavior issues. उसको इवेलुएट करना, स्कूल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को असेस करना या फिर चाइल्ड विद स्पेशल नीड्स के लिए कस्टमाइज्ड एजुकेशनल प्लान बनाना या फिर पनिशमेंट गाइडलाइंस बिहेवियर इश्यूज़ के लिए प्रोवाइड करना. द आंसर इज़ टू प्लान कस्टमाइज्ड एजुकेशनल गोल्स फॉर अ चाइल्ड विद स्पेशल नीड्स. कस्टमाइज गोल प्लान करना. नाउ मूविंग ऑन टू द क्वेश्चन नंबर 2. The concept of least restrictive environment in special education implies. स्पेशल एजुकेशन में लीस्ट रेस्ट्रिक्टिव एनवायरनमेंट से क्या मतलब है? ए. टोटल एक्सक्लूजन फ्रॉम द मेन स्ट्रीम से बिल्कुल बाहर कर देना. प्लेसमेंट इन इंस्टीट्यूशंस ओनली, सिर्फ इंस्टीट्यूशन में प्लेसमेंट करना. सी. एजुकेशन विद मैक्सिमम पॉसिबल इंटरेक्शन विद नॉन डिसेबल्ड पीयर्स. और डी. टीचिंग एट होम ओनली. The answer is C. Education with maximum possible interaction with non-disabled peers. Now moving on to question number 3. According to Piaget, the ability to perform mental operations and conservation develops during A. Sensory motor stage, B. Pre-operational stage, C. Concrete operational stage, or D. Formal operational stage. The answer to this question is option number C. Concrete operational stage. मेंटल ऑपरेशंस, दिमाग में सोच लेना और कंजर्वेशन की जो एबिलिटी है वो कॉन्क्रीट ऑपरेशनल स्टेज पर आती है. मूविंग ऑन टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 4. द प्राइमरी फोकस ऑफ रिमेडियल टीचिंग इज. रिमेडियल टीचिंग का प्राइमरी फोकस क्या है? टू पनिश पुअर परफॉर्मर्स, टू एनरिच हाई अचीवर्स, to help learners overcome specific learning disabilities, or D. to provide leisure time activities. The answer is option number C. to help learners overcome specific learning disabilities. Now moving on to question number 5. In the context of inclusive education, UDL stands for. This is a repeated question. UDL की फुल फॉर्म क्या है? यूनिवर्सल डिज़ाइन फॉर लर्निंग, यूनाइटेड डिज़ाइन लीग, सी. यूनिवर्सल डायरेक्शन फॉर लर्निंग, और डी. यूनिक डिसेबिलिटी लर्निंग. द आंसर इज ऑप्शन नंबर ए. यूनिवर्सल डिज़ाइन फॉर लर्निंग. Moving on to next question. IDEA, IDEA Act in the USA provides. IDEA Act USA में क्या प्रोवाइड करता है? गाइडलाइंस फॉर हायर एजुकेशन, प्रोविजंस फॉर चिल्ड्रन विद डिसेबिलिटीज, फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट फॉर स्पेशल एजुकेटर्स, और डी. पॉलिसीज फॉर स्पोर्ट्स इन स्कूल. The answer to this question is option number B. Provisions for children with disabilities. Moving on to the question number 7. डिस्ग्राफिया प्राइमरीली अफेक्ट्स. डिस्ग्राफिया किस चीज़ को अफेक्ट करता है? रीडिंग, राइटिंग, स्पीकिंग और लिसनिंग. द आंसर इज ऑप्शन नंबर बी. राइटिंग. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. द मेजर सिम्टम ऑफ ADHD. ADHD का मेजर सिम्टम क्या है? हियरिंग इम्पेयरमेंट, इनअटेंशन एंड हाइपर एक्टिविटी, स्पीच डिले, विजुअल ट्रैकिंग प्रॉब्लम. The answer is option number B. Inattention and hyperactivity, as ADHD itself says attention deficit and hyperactive disorder. Next question. Which of the following is a characteristic of autism spectrum disorder? Autism spectrum disorder का इनमें से क्या एक characteristic है? A. Fluent social interaction, B. Excellent handwriting, C. Repetitive behavior and communication difficulties, D. High athletic skills. The answer is option number C. Repetitive behavior and communication difficulties. Moving on to the next question. The RCI Act 1992 in India primarily deals with higher education reforms, curriculum development, rehabilitation and training of professionals for disabled persons, or compulsory attendance in schools. RCI एक्ट इनमें से किसके साथ डील करता है? The answer is option number C, rehabilitation and training of professionals for disabled persons. Moving on to the next question. Question number 11. Who developed the theory of multiple intelligences? Multiple intelligences की theory किसने develop की थी, किसने दी थी? जीन पियाजे, P.F. Skinner, लेव वाइगॉट्स्की, हॉवर्ड गार्डनर. The answer is option number D, Howard Gardner. Moving on to the next question. Assistive technology in special education includes. Assistive technology जो हम special education में use करते हैं उनमें क्या होता है? A. Only physical support. B. Textbooks, devices and tools that support learning for students with disabilities. Or D. Sporting equipment. The answer is option number C, devices and tools that support learning for students with disabilities. Moving on to the next question. The term cognitive refers to. Cognitive का meaning क्या है? A. Physical growth. B. Emotional well-being. C. Mental processes like thinking and problem solving. D. Financial development. Cognitive का meaning इनमें से क्या है? The answer is option number C, mental processes like thinking and problem solving. Now moving on to the next question. Question number 14. Which is a development disorder? Which of the following is a developmental disorder? A. Chickenpox. B. Dyslexia. C. Flu. Or D. Fever. इनमें से क्या एक developmental disorder है? The answer is option number B, dyslexia. Question number 15. Inclusive education promotes. Inclusive education किस चीज़ को promote करता है? Segregation, partial inclusion, equality and participation, homeschooling. The answer is option number C, equality and participation. Moving on to the next question. Behavior modification strategies are most closely associated with constructivism, cognitive learning, behaviorism, psychoanalysis. Behavior strategies किससे associated हैं? Answer is option number C, behaviorism. This is quite easy question. Moving on to the question number 17. Braille is used for. Braille किसके लिए यूज़ होता है? Hearing impaired children, speech therapy, visually impaired children, or children with ADHD. Again an easy question. The answer is option number C, visually impaired children. We use Braille for visually impaired children. Now moving on to the next question. Question number 18. Which act in India ensures the rights of persons with disabilities? RTE Act 2009, PWD Act 1995, RTI Act 2005, or D. Consumer Protection Act 1986. The answer is option number B, PWD Act 1995. Persons with Disability Act 1995. Next question, question number 19. Visual schedules are specially helpful for students with. Visual schedules कौन से बच्चों के लिए helpful होंगे? Hearing impairment, physical disabilities, autism spectrum disorder, or speech disorder. The answer is option number A, hearing impairment. For hearing impaired students, we use visual schedules. Now moving on to question number 20. The zone of proximal development was proposed by. Zone of proximal development किसने propose किया था, किसने दिया था? पियाजे, वाइगॉट्स्की, स्किनर, ब्रूनर. Zone of proximal development किसने दिया था? The answer is option number B, Vygotsky. Zone of proximal development was proposed by Lev Vygotsky. Now moving on to next question, question number 21. The term inclusion in education was globally promoted after the Salamanca Statement 1994, the Berlin Agreement 2000, the Delhi Declaration 1992, or the Paris Agreement 1990. The answer is option number A, the Salamanca Statement 1994. After this, the word inclusion was promoted globally. Next question. Who coined the term learning disability? Learning disability term किसने दी थी? Samuel Orton, Binet, Kirk, Freud. Learning disability term किसने दी थी? Answer is option C, Kirk. Moving on to the next question. Question number 23. Which one is not a component of an IEP? इनमें से क्या एक IEP का component नहीं है? A. Annual goals. B. Behavior plan. C. Personal family income. D. Present level of performance. क्या एक IEP का component नहीं है? Answer is option C. Personal family income. It is not a component of IEP. Moving on to the next question. Question number 24. What does TLM stands for? TLM की full form क्या है? A. Time learning method. B. Teaching learning material. C. Training lesson model. D. Teaching language manual. Answer is option number B. Teaching learning material. Next question, question 25. The most appropriate instructional strategy for a child with hearing loss. Hearing loss वाले बच्चे के लिए सबसे appropriate instructional strategy क्या है? A. Audio stories. B. Sign language and visual aids. C. Music based learning. D. Dictation based test. Answer is option B. Sign language and visual aids. It is most appropriate instructional strategy for hearing loss child. Question number 26. Which of the following is a functional academic skill? इनमें से क्या एक functional academic skill है? Solving quadratic equations. B. Memorizing periodic table. C. Using money to buy groceries. D. Writing a research paper. Answer is option C. Using money to buy groceries. It is related to real life example. Now next question. The principle of normalization focuses on. Normalization का focus किस पर रहता है? Bringing special children into regular situation. B. Institutionalizing children. C. Giving only special curriculum. D. Promoting segregation. Answer is option number A. Bringing special children into regular situations. Now next question, question number 28. Phonemic awareness is important for A. Mathematical problem solving. B. Reading development. C. Drawing skills. D. Sports training. Answer is option number B. Reading development, as phonemes are related to phonics, sounds. It is important for reading development. Next question. A child with cerebral palsy primarily faces a difficulty in. CP वाले बच्चे को सबसे ज़्यादा difficulty किस में होगी? A. Vision. B. Muscle coordination and movement. C. Auditory discrimination. Or D. Memory. The answer is option B. Muscle coordination and movement, as CP affects the movement of person. Next question, question number 30. A resource room in school is meant for. स्कूल में resource room किस लिए होता है? A. Storing sports equipment. B. Separate schooling. C. Providing support to children with special needs. Or D. Organizing cultural events. Answer is option number C. Providing support to children with special needs. Thank you all for watching the video. I hope you all find it helpful. All the best for your exam.